I'm Sarah and you're watching Acid Burn Say, and today I'm going to talk about the books that I read in March. So, Artemis is joining us, clearly. Hey, you gotta sit down? You gotta sit down. Yeah? Yeah, oh, you're okay. You're okay. Or maybe not. So, this month, I only read 5 books, but that's okay. You know what? It doesn't matter how many books you read this month or any month, as long as you enjoy it. That's the important thing. If you enjoy it, that's the important bit. And if you had a good month, that's okay. At the start of the month, I read my first Christina Lauren book. I read The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. And Christina Lauren, hi. Hey, you're okay. And Christina Lauren are 2 different authors. The Unhoneymooners is about Olive and Amy, who are twins, who are identical twins, and Amy is getting married. And Amy and Olive, one has good luck, the other one has bad luck, and Amy wins everything. So Amy decided that she would win her wedding. That she would win the dream wedding. She made it a goal and she achieved that goal. So Amy got her whole wedding paid for, as well as her honeymoon. Hi. As well as her honeymoon paid for. They're all at the wedding, and at the wedding reception they have won this seafood buffet, and it is fantastic seafood buffet. Olive is allergic to shellfish, so Olive had to get her own meal prepared because she couldn't eat this. And yes, the seafood buffet makes everyone ill. Everyone is sick, and actually I felt sick like in that part of the book, because not that it was graphic or anything, but they were talking about people being sick, and I was like, oh my goodness, I am gonna be sick. It started to turn my stomach. So yes, so in the end, Olive ends up having to go on this honeymoon that has been already paid for, because the bride and everyone who was at the wedding is sick. And it's a bug. It's like a bug or something. They've basically been food poisoned, but it's like a special food poisoning that lasts like weeks. And but it was her and the best man didn't eat the seafood, so they end up being sent on the honeymoon together, but they have to pretend that they are the honeymooners, because if they do not, they have to fork out the entire cost of this exotic, fantastic honeymoon, which I think is in Mexico or something. Oh, Hawaii. It's in Hawaii. That's what it is. It's in Hawaii. And so yes, they have to pretend that they are honeymooners. So yes, it is fake. I was going to say fake dating, fake marriage. And it's an enemies to lovers. And it was really sweet. I really enjoyed it and found it very easy to read, and the characters were very enjoyable. And yes, I will definitely pick up another Christina Lauren book. But yeah, the vomit was a little bit gross, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. The second book that I read in March was Maybe Now by Colleen Hoover. Maybe Now follows what happens with Ridge and Sydney, who are our characters from Maybe Someday. It starts off with the sequel to Maybe Someday. There is also a novella called Maybe Not, which is set in between. Well, it's sort of set before, but I read it in between. But do not read that one. It's awful. It's so awful. And I think the reason that I had a hard time with Maybe Now was because of Maybe Not, because Maybe Not was so gross and disgusting that it was just awful. So I think it put a stain on Maybe Now. The start of Maybe Now follows Maggie wants to go through her bucket list. And one of the things is I really wish they had stuck with Maggie going through her bucket list, but no, they focused more on like Ridge and Sydney and other issues that were going on. And I thought, can we not just stick with Maggie? I'd be quite happy to just have Maggie's point of view and us not like jump to Ridge and Sydney. That was, I think, my big grudge about it. And as I said, I think maybe not just Stained maybe now for me a little bit, because I do remember really enjoying maybe Someday and really enjoying the death aspect, because maybe Someday is about a deaf songwriter, and I thought it was really well represented. And then in this one, I just felt that it was a bit of a letdown. Number 3 is Heir by Sarah J Maas, and I gave this a 4-star. I did really enjoy it. I was really strict to myself and I wanted to get it finished by halfway through the month so I could get the 2 books read. But spoilers, I did not finish Queen of Shadows. That is on my TBR for April. So yeah, oops. Many people say this is the best of the Throne of Glass series, but I just kept waiting for it to become the best. But I did enjoy it, and I enjoyed the new characters that were introduced. I'm interested to see how their stories intertwine with our main arc. And Heir is set in another land, which I thought very different, very, very new, but you had loads of different people's points of views, and some of them I preferred more than others. And we dealt with some grief and other aspects in this one, but I did really enjoy it. I didn't give it a 5-star because I think it was overhyped. Quite a few people said it was their favourite, and now people are saying Queen of Shadows is their favourite, so I am waiting for something to start. So yes. Number 4 is Bloodmarked by Tracey Deonn, and this is the sequel to Legendborn. This follows Bree, who ends upon the Legendborn, who are descendants of Camelot and the Knights of the Round Table with Arthur, and so it's set in that sort of verse, and Merlin's and everything. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give it away. I actually really enjoyed like the first, I won't say first half. I really was really invested in it, and then like the last half I just sort of trailed away with. But I thought I was really into it and really enjoying it. Certain aspects of it, and then I just trailed away. I think my real complaint was that we were left on a cliffhanger from the last book, and you didn't deal with the cliffhanger at all. I think that was really my complaint. You know, it had really good parts. I did really enjoy parts of it. It was just the end I think I was a bit let down at, and some other things, but it is what it is, right? So the 5th book that I read, the last book that I read this month and I finished on the 31st of March, was Will by Will Smith, and I gave this a 4-star. I don't like to give memoirs ratings because it's somebody's life, and I gave Will Smith's Will a 4 stars because it actually, I listened to the audiobook of it and he performed it brilliantly. It was brilliantly performed. This is Will Smith's memoir, and I think one of the reasons I gave it a 4-star and didn't give it a 5-star was because I think you spend 9 hours of him getting to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like how the Prince of Bel-Air happened, and then he basically summarizes the rest of his life. He summarizes movies, doesn't even mention a couple of his movies, and that's it. Like he goes in depth with some of them, and I'm thinking, you went so much in depth, you know, in your early life, and then are like me. And so like he didn't mention the Matrix and how he passed up the Matrix for Wild Wild West. He didn't mention you know, loads of different things. And I'm like, oh, what on earth? So, however, I used to like Will Smith, and this felt like a huge ego trip. It felt like just one big ego. And I used to not be very fussed on Jada. But after reading that, I am like, oh my goodness, you put up with a lot, girl. You dealt with a lot. And yeah, to come through it, wow. He is a lot. I'm not sure I could cope with him. I'm really not sure I could cope with him. I've met a couple of producers, and they said their favourite celebrity that they've ever met is Will Smith, because he knows your name and he recognises you, and he makes a point of calling you by name, which I always thought was lovely. And then after reading this book, it's like, no, he did this for press, and you know, to be the best, and to get more movie sales and everything by knowing people's names, etc. So it was all money based. But it really made me realize why he hit Chris Rock, because it talks about the fact that he felt like a card for his whole life, and then his wife, about the women in his life and how he feels. Yeah, just it all sort of made sense as to why he did this to Chris Rock. And if he's, yeah, it all sort of made sense. But that is my reading wrap up for March, and it's been quite a wee short one. So yes, if you have read any of these books, please tell me what your thoughts on them, because we all have different thoughts, don't we? So please tell me what you're currently reading at the moment. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe if you want more of my content. And yeah, I will see you all next week. Thank you. Bye.